Regards to pull you over and get you to give a sample of saliva, you just had to be breaking the law. Now that's a very it's a very wide ambit. The 2010 Act allows them to demand a saliva sample from anyone who's breaking the law. You don't have to. All you have to do is create some breach of the law in some way. I've had people who've been not using their indicators coming out of a petrol station as a pretext to stop them and demand a saliva sample, and then they give a saliva sample, and if it shows up, they're being arrested. That's any little infraction at all is enough to justify a stop, and in some cases, I think it's quite unfair, to be honest. I take a personal interest in every one of these cases I do, and getting the best result for the client is really important to me because the consequences for them are huge, and I know that, and I spend a lot of time talking to them over the weeks and the months that the case is in the court system, and I understand what goes on in their lives and the consequences for them. So I work pretty hard to make sure that whatever result is achieved, it's the best one. Turning up at court and getting a judge to have a doubt about a case and acquitting your client is great. It's great because you can see it on their faces. It means an awful lot to them. They've been carrying this thing around with them for months, and to see that sense of relief is really great. That's actually the best part of it, yeah.
That's great.
A tactic that they employ a lot, and I know they employ because I used to do it myself, is where you're arrested for drink driving. And then you get all these summonses. You get drink driving, you get no insurance, no license, no NCT, careless driving or dangerous driving as well, and then you didn't produce your license, you didn't produce your insurance, and now you've got, instead of one charge, you've got 8 or 9 of them. Now you're panicking because you've got so much stuff. But they're only interested in one. The drink driving is the only one they're interested in. The other ones are red herrings. They throw them at you to alarm you. They'll come to you then with an offer. They'll come to your lawyer with an offer and say, well, look, if they plead to the drink driving, I'll strike out the rest of them. And you'll imagine that that's a very benevolent approach to take, but they don't care about any of those. There's only one they're interested in.
Can you break down, like, in the simplest way, what's the story there with limits?
Yeah, well, that's a really popular limit. What is the limit? It's different for blood, it's different for urine, and it's different for breath. Each one has a different limit. As to what it is, even the Medical Bureau of Road Safety won't tell you. And they analyse blood and urine samples all the time. They can't tell you because everyone is different. You're different to me, your height, weight, sex, whether you've slept, whether you've eaten in a while, whether you're taking medication. All these different factors all affect how your body will process alcohol. So on one day you could drink alcohol and you would be under the limit. The next day, if you're feeling a bit sick or you haven't eaten in a while, you drink the same amount of alcohol, you're over the limit. So it's impossible to give a scientific formula.